And we are back, episode 154 of Journey to Million here on this Wednesday evening. Myself, Drew Skyberg, joined alongside Zack Rausch and Jared Valleskey. And look, we did some running back rankings this past week, and it sounds like, per Jared, there's going to be some debates on this show. But also, of course, we had some free agency signings still throughout the week. So we're still looking forward to talking about those, as well as debating some fantasy running back rankings. So it should be a great show. How you both doing here?
Excited to talk about this rankings that some of us had interesting takes on, but yeah, should be fun.
Zach, Culver's, anything?
Not
anything
today.
New? Quick
Today
trip.
was a day I followed my
taxes.
diet. Yesterday was bad, so now I gotta be on the diet today, and then tomorrow I can be bad again.
What was yesterday?
I alternate. It's better than
Consistent.
eating like crap every day, So
What's wrong with
Oh,
that?
yesterday was golf, right?
What's wrong with that?
yeah, yesterday was golf.
Oh yeah, those are always bad nights for you.
A few drinks or
On the course
no,
and for the diet.
folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple beers and some pretzel bites and Culver's on the way home.
Yeah.
I knew Culver's saw you.
Yeah.
Knew it. But
Hey, it was a good round of golf
Yeah.
though. I had to reward myself.
Yeah, sure. Because no one saw your golf round, so you can say whatever score you got. Everyone will believe you. Yeah.
My
I got probably like
teammates saw my
100,
golf
105 or something.
No, my teammates saw my golf round.
cameras weren't on. I mean,
Yeah.
It's actually recorded in the league.
And we'll
that I'm
never see
playing
the
it.
recording. Yeah. hmm Yeah.
I'll send you a picture next week.
I don't really care. I trust I really don't. Show me in Bayfield or whatever. Show me how long you've come, how far your game has come along.
I'll have to
Then I'll
keep it
believe you.
10 strokes to make it even.
I thought
okay, buddy.
a big thing for that came out free agency wise this past week. Zach and I were talking about it a little. Was kind of how these contracts. We thought that this Sam Darnold 3-year deal was 3 years. Turns out, really out after year one. We're seeing a lot of the outs in these deals come out, which is good. More specifically, that Darnold one. What was it? It was a 1 year. I just had it here and I lost it. Let's look at it. It's not up on Spot Track yet, but what is it? A 1 year, $37 million, I believe, $37.5 million.
Donald?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no guaranteed money after year one. Which
Yeah, so
usually leads to.
That's a lot of
I
money.
think so the only dead cap hit would be whatever the signing bonus is, I believe.
that's up, yeah. But then Aaron Banks, who we talked about, Packers guard sign. How does he go for $77 million? Well, when there's an out after year one,
Year two.
well, I see potential out of year one, but it would be $29.4 million. They'd have to is the total they'd pay year one.
Yeah.
But
Who's the Steelers quarterback going to be?
Rodgers.
Every team has a quarterback that they can go
so
to.
Jalen Milroe met.
Yeah, I
with,
saw that.
Tomlin.
Or there was one other
Honestly,
prospect they met with too.
Dude, Milroe in Arthur Smith offense would not be that bad, to be honest. I don't think it's the best for Milroe long term in his career, but it would be interesting for fantasy.
Yeah.
3 points. I'm wondering at 21st overall, though, is the question. At what price?
No, Milroe is I think he's projected like 3rd round right now.
Yes,
Well,
yes, he
If
is.
they
Yeah,
need
that's-
someone, they're going to get him.
But
I don't
that's
know.
the point, Zach. He should not be pushed up that aggressive. That'd be insane. But the talk of Dart
Yeah.
getting pushed in the first round now, we always see this. Every year we see a guy. And Milroe hasn't even was his pro day today, I think.
Yeah, it's today. You're on a
so-
4.37 as a quarterback.
Slow. That's so slow. Richardson 4.32
So do you
or
think-
something.
And I'll have to go back
He
and
did.
dig and see.
Yeah, he did. Richardson had like a 4.33 or 4.34, didn't he?
Zach's
He had the
definitely going to look this
fastest.
up now. Just
Yeah. 4.43.
Yeah, so you're slower. So
Was it? Wait, what was Milroe or Dart? What was Dart?
Milroe was 4.37. I don't know what Dart was.
Oh, okay.
That's not.
4.37, 4.43. Richardson Milrow, GOAT.
There should be a chance of 4 quarterbacks going in the first round, but it's hard to say. Based
Okay,
on
Jared, well, according to my quick Google, that's the third fastest quarterback 40-yard dash time of all time,
Milrow?
behind Michael Vick and RG3.
I think Richardson's like 4th or 5th then. There wasn't many more that were in between them. All time, I couldn't tell you exactly, but I know that when Richardson ran a 4.43, it was like the top 5th best time.
Or actually,
Zach's
Michael
impressive.
Vick and Reggie McNeil. I don't know who that is, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
He was quick.
there
He
would
was
have been
quick, Zach.
RG3
He was quick.
after.
That's all I know about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good at the 40-yard dash.
Yeah. Set of wheels attached to him. That's about it.
Oh, he played in CFL.
there you go.
Okay, cool.
He did get drafted, but he ended up in the CFL.
But otherwise, signing wise, the big thing that I guess took place the last couple days when we, since we've last recorded, rather, Cooper Kupp to Seattle.
Is that the big thing, or is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins the big thing?
Well, okay. I'm talking about the big new acquisition, if you will.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna go next year.
He's
Of
gonna
course we have
Seattle.
that big acquisition.
He's gonna get like 2 targets a game at most, and his
In
career is gonna
Seattle?
die there. Yeah, I mean they still have JSN's gonna be a top 20 receiver this year. Kupp's gonna be like a second option probably, right? Because Lockett's gone too now, isn't he? And DK obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll have a bigger role probably, but still, he's 33 years old. I hope he's good. I have him in like 2 dynasty leagues, but
Yeah, because he wouldn't trade him.
I tried trading him. No one's active. I could trade with you guys, but you guys cheat me every time.
I offered you the 201, which would have been an absolute steal for you based on how he played.
When did you offer me that?
That would have been a great deal, Jared.
When did you offer me
I
that?
thought I did.
Maybe the 401 or something. Yeah.
I offered you like a 3rd rounder.
Yeah. And I told you, you know what I told you. So
Well, look what he's going for now.
yeah. Wait
It
until
might have
after
been like-
this year. He'll be a top 10 receiver, and then I'll trade him
He'll
for
be
a
a 4th rounder, and then next year he'll be dropped.
first. Yeah.
It'll
Like
be
a Michael Thomas situation or
Oh
something.
gosh, were you in that situation?
I have Michael Thomas. I still have him on one of my teams. He's only like 32 years old. He's still capable. It's like a DeAndre Hopkins kind of player can come back, join a championship team for 2 weeks.
Should
I
pick
felt
up
for
Antonio
Hopkins.
Brown. He might come back too.
I have Hollywood Brown.
No, Antonio
okay.
Brown.
Oh, Antonio Brown and Julio Jones. Yeah, I'll get both of them. Todd Gurley.
Pick up
That'll be a
team.
great team back
David
in like
Johnson.
2018. Yeah, that'd be a great team.
But no, I think Kupp though. I really think. Okay, it depends. Are you evaluating his first half or second half? Second half was obviously it
He
seems
didn't
what
have a
maybe-
second half.
Yeah. So I think especially with Darnold and that kind of in that offense, I like him as a top. I'll be careful when I say this. He's right between 30 and 36 now. No.
Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't feel safe putting him 25. Obviously, we didn't.
I said 30 to 36,
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
that gives me the wiggle room for those guys who we said, we would have put between.
I don't even
25
think-
and 30.
I don't even think any of
These
us
things
had
for
him
fantasy this year,
on the
or like
list.
just in general.
I'm saying, well,
Talented.
I'll say both. I'll say
So-
both.
We didn't include him last week, and we had 3, 4, 5. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more that weren't him after 25.
Yeah. So that
Means
works. That makes sense.
33, 34, 35.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
I guess it's hard, Zach, because if we're looking at a talent thing, the speed is obviously the route running's not the concern with him. Hands aren't the concern with him. I think the concern with him is,
Getting the ball
Obviously,
thrown to him? Or
well, yeah, get the separation component maybe not with route running, but the same speed burst, whatever you want to call it, right? That we didn't see from him in the second half last year, and partly right, you can't just say, oh, the second half last year was because he was bad. I mean, he wasn't getting the ball. I mean, like you could say some was on Stafford, sure, some was that, but I
Why?
feel like his separation
Why do you
is
think he
really-
like declined so quick last year? Like didn't he win OPOY like 2 years ago, and then Puka was it 3 years ago,
I think.
and then Puka came
21.
in 23, had a great year.
Yeah, I mean, he
last
just
year.
wasn't the
He had some
number one
injury
option.
issues.
Got
But even when
hurt
he was back, they
a
were
few
throwing it
times
to
last
like
3 years.
Tutu Atwell and Higbee.
Higby when he
was
came back.
Yeah,
Yep,
he was hurt
back.
for a lot. Yeah. But yeah, they weren't targeting him at all. Like he was playing the whole game. He was getting 90% of snaps, 80%, whatever it is, and he just wasn't getting targeted.
Honestly, I think it's just like
He's running cardio.
Yeah.
we saw with Hopkins and like these guys. Like he's just getting old. Like, he's 32, I think.
Mhm.
So it's just.
But isn't
kinda
Kelsey?
nature.
Kelsey is like 35, 36, right?
It's different for a tight end though. Like tight ends don't.
Tight ends
win
take more
based
hits.
on-
They block and they
Yeah.
don't go out for as many.
Yeah,
routes,
but like
you
receivers, you need to have, like Drew said, like the
Yeah.
burst, the explosion out of breaks and stuff. Like that's how you get your
Mhm.
separation. Like you can be a great route runner, but if you're not, you're changing direction and you're like walking out of the direction change, well, the other guy's going to catch
Yeah.
up whether or not he saw you changing direction or not. You know?
Yeah.
So
And I think that's why he's attractive to Seattle. I think having a veteran presence. I think a guy who is going to give you something in the red zone. I think when we talk fantasy with him, I think it's going to not take a cop out, but he's got to be touchdown dependent in terms of what we expect from him, especially being a 2 option.
I just feel like off that point though, like if he was a 2 option on the Rams and 2 options don't grant their best cornerback or best safety, whoever's guarding him, and he couldn't get separation off of a 2 or a 3 cornerback, like now he's on Seattle, might help a little bit, change of scenery, but
he's going to be the number 2 again. It's going to be
yeah. So still, if you can't get separation in Los Angeles, why would he in Seattle? Like what's going to be different? He's a year older. He's got millions more thrown his way. I just don't.
That's the beauty of all right offensive play callers. You got to design and probably plays closer to the line of scrimmage. He can't be your deep. He's got to be low A dot.
Puka's a lot better
red
than
zone.
JSN right now too, so maybe that'll help a little bit with less target share towards Puka. I mean, JSN's still going to get 10 targets a game, whatever, but Puka was getting 15, 14 some games.
Yeah.
Also,
honestly, I don't understand the move for Seattle. Like
You don't understand?
No, I mean, I think we've talked about how many times already is like they're going to be stuck in the middle again. Like,
Yeah.
the way they structured Darnold's contract, it doesn't look like they're really sold on him yet. It's kind of like they're still making him prove it before they actually pay him. So it doesn't sound like they're sold on him, but they're adding veterans as if they want to compete. But they're not really good enough to actually compete, but they're also too good to, draft a quarterback next year. And for $15 million a year is like, it's not that bad, I guess, for where the market's at. But I don't know. He's also like very similar guy to JSN. Like they're both the possession slot guys. Like that's how Kupp's made his career, and that's exactly what JSN did last year in his big breakout year. So
yeah, it's tough. Well, I want to say like, okay, well, let's look. Darnold just won 14 games last year in the regular season, and he had 2 great receivers with him, and he had Jones as running back, and I feel like what Seattle wants to do is they look at what Minnesota did. They put some playmakers around Darnold. Look what happened. Why don't we do the same? Obviously, the offensive line here is the one thing I didn't mention that we need to mention. We saw that playoff game. As you saw the offensive line for Sam Darnold, may and not those sacks all weren't on the offensive line. We know that, but they got some things to address in the draft, potentially too. I think this team, to your point, Zach, is more than a few steps away, maybe, but they feel too is if Darnold, wins them, will 10 games get them in the NFC, let alone maybe not, even 7. So they kind of feel in that spot.
Yeah, I mean, like if you have Darnold in fantasy right now, like you're trying to trade him, right? Like, yeah, he's guaranteed a starting spot this year, but I mean, he had a good year last year, but his supporting cast is significantly worse. His coaching is significantly worse. Like it's everything kind of regressed. And we already saw last year he had some moments where it's like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on?
What would you get for him? I mean, hypothetically, if you're trying to trade with Superflex.
I'd try and go for late first.
I feel like Sam
First.
Darnold's going to be like a Daniel
first,
Jones
maybe?
kind of thing, where he's just going to have a down year, and people are going to think, "Why did we pay him this much? Why did?"
No. I don't
So
think you're going to like Zach. I have him in a 6-point dynasty league. I'll just tell you, I think
The future
I mean,
first, maybe. Is nobody giving you?
I
late first?
wish I would. No. Everybody just think about what you just said. You know, if you want to trade him right now, this is the time. Everybody knows that, so nobody wants him for that price because nobody believes him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's like
I've
maybe now is not the best time, like right before the season when someone realizes,
you're
hey,
right.
I need a quarterback. You trade him
It
for
depends on the draft.
2026 first.
Right now, I got people. You know, they're betting on either they got like a Rodgers, someone's going to sign, or they got someone who's like, oh well, you know, my pick, you know, my pick might be a quarterback in the draft. Like maybe what if Dart gets a starting job right away? Like things like
Yeah, I mean, if
we don't think
Dart
will happen.
and Sanders both get starting jobs, and I mean, even potentially Milrow ends up in Pittsburgh, you might have 4 starting quarterbacks in the draft,
Which is crazy.
right?
I
Yeah,
mean, right, well, let's think. Right. I mean, vacancies right now. Giants, Titans.
yeah. I mean,
I'd call Titans
in order for that to
Pittsburgh.
happen, like you'd think the Titans, Browns, and Giants would need to
Browns.
take Sanders and Ward. Like they'd both need to be gone,
Yep.
and then you'd need Dart to go. I mean, I don't know. Like I've seen some things about him going to like even the Jets or like the Saints, which I don't think he's going top 10. But I mean, if he does, that would be. I think that would pretty much set up potentially 4 starters depending where Rodgers goes.
Yeah. Well, do you think? Okay. Well, the Titans actually haven't committed to move on from Levis, right?
No.
I mean,
I also don't think that Milrow would be the starter week 1 if he got
In
drafted.
Pittsburgh,
Yeah, I think
you think
Probably-
they start Mason Rudolph over him?
or Kyle Allen. Yeah, they have. I mean, they're veterans. If you're Pittsburgh,
actually
you'd be
not
smart.
bad.
You wouldn't just throw your second, third round quarterback first or pick rookie year right into the team. Like you wouldn't do that. You'd probably let him
I could see
sit
Rudolph.
behind few veterans for a few weeks. Yeah,
I feel like Milrow fits into Arthur Smith's offense very well.
but I think he has to see
That's
the
why I
offense
think-
work before he can just jump in.
Yeah, that's what training camp's for. Training camp preseason, like there's if he doesn't know the offense by week 1, and that's why he's not starting, like that's
It's
like,
not more of
issue
a know
apart
the
from
offense.
starting.
I mean, look at like Drake May on the Patriots. He didn't play the first 5-6 weeks. They were terrible. He starts and now he ended the year great. I mean, he's their guy probably.
Yeah, that's different
Kind
though.
of
'Cause,
works
like
that way.
the rest of their team was awful. Like everyone knew they weren't going to compete.
Well, who on the Steelers is like good besides DK, Pickens, and
Their
then
defense
like,
is good.
TJ
Like,
Watt.
their
TJ
offense-
Watt, Minka.
I'm saying their defense is good. Their offense is just like
Their team
subpar.
outside of
Now
a
Jalen
quarterback
Warren's the
is
starter.
actually like is ready to compete.
Yeah, they
If
should
they
trade
add-
Warren. They should have.
Is their running back now.
Yeah, I mean,
Their
there's
offense-
plenty of running backs.
Their offensive line is not
Second-
good. Their offensive line hasn't been good for years now.
It was
It's
actually
gotten
decent last
better.
year.
It's gotten better, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still not top 5, top
They
10.
kind of addressed it last year in the draft. But like if they get a second or third round running back, you know, if they really invest in the offense, they get,
Mhm.
or maybe they get like Hampton in the first round and then Milrow in the second. Like
Mm-hmm.
that offense is, if Milrow can perform. And
I
it
just
just
feel
comes
like-
down to the quarterback at that point.
If they get Milrow, they're stuck in that Steelers territory. That ceiling of 9-10 wins.
I
They're
agree.
not going
Right.
anywhere. Like,
This year, yeah. But
and next year, maybe 2 years, 3 years from now, they might sneak into a playoff win. Like,
But I don't think that changes. Like, no matter who they start at quarterback, they're going to win at least 7 games because their team
Yeah.
is good enough for that.
mhm.
So whether it's Milrow, whether it's Mason Rudolph, like they're going to be stuck in the middle. But I think
Yeah.
Milrow, even as a rookie, is going to give you more upside than Rudolph, right? Like even if he can't figure
Well,
out how to pass a
yeah.
football, which is like his big knock,
But that's
Even
not
just
the
as well,
reason.
I'm worried
Gaines can do
about.
more than Rudolph.
But that's not the reason why teams start, their rookie quarterback because of upside. Obviously, Drake May had more upside than Jacoby Brissett. They don't start
the
Brissett because they think
Patriots
they're going to
were-
win more games.
the Steelers are in a mode where they can make the playoffs. The
Yeah, I
Patriots were
get
not
that.
making the
They're
playoffs.
tanking.
But even like the
Yeah.
Falcons last year when they benched Kirk, like they were still somewhat in the hunt for a position.
That's why they benched
Kirk was playing bad.
Well, yeah, I get
he
that.
was
That's
losing them
my
games.
point. That's my point, though. But they started Kirk because like they believed that he'd be the one that would win them games, and then
As do we.
he was pretty
And then
bad.
he
so-
wasn't, and they benched him.
yeah.
I
But-
don't know what your point is for this.
Well, then Ritter came in, and now he's like going to be like their guy, hopefully. But now they have
Penix.
Kirk back, or Penix, not Ritter. Penix, sorry. Penix is going to be their guy, hopefully, and now they got Kirk back. I know, which I don't understand what they're doing, but I think
They're gonna try to
most
trade him now.
teams. It's a unique situation with the Patriots, like you said, because they weren't in the situation to win games like the Steelers are. I get that, but like even with the Colts, like we benched Richardson, who has a higher upside by far than 40-year-old Joe Flacco, but it was more of like, okay, Richardson. It wasn't just because he was playing terrible. It's more of like we need to reset with this guy. We need to see if he can sit behind a veteran for a few weeks, get his confidence back, and not to tap out of a game when you're down by a touchdown, whatever.
Oh goodness.
It's more of like, okay, this guy needs to sit behind a veteran like Jordan Love and Rodgers. It works for teams. Like there's no reason to rush a rookie quarterback who you're trying to put as your franchise guy for 20 years. Like it's foolish for them to draft someone in the second, third round and just be like, yeah, you're our guy, get in there. We're going to win right now. Like, yeah, they might lose a few games, but their defense is good enough to keep them in games too, where Russell Wilson was winning games for them. Justin Fields was winning games for them. Zach Wilson would win games for them. Like, anyone you put in there is going to win games. Like you said, they're going to win 6 to 7, 8 games either way. There's no reason to rush your franchise guy potentially into a week 1 start just because you have the tools to win.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like Milroe's floor, like even if his floor is probably where Mason Rudolph's ceiling is, or close to it. And that's why I feel like there's no point in not rushing him in there in that situation because like what are you losing?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's not like he doesn't get to see it happen, but he gets to experience it. Like there is an aspect of experience that needs to go into that too. And I mean,
I just see the Steelers as a team that always wins. Like, and Milroe's not a guaranteed winner. Like, it's not like he's just going to go out there and win those 7-8 games. Like, yeah, the upside's there, but I don't see the Steelers. They've been above 500 for 16 straight years now, 15 straight years. There's more of a guarantee, like with like a bad veteran than there is with a high upside rookie. So I don't know. I feel like I think they should start Milroe. It would make sense just to get him that experience, but that might equate to a losing season. And Tomlin doesn't do that. So I don't think they will start him week 1 if they draft him.
yeah, that's why I think they can, like, even if Milroe does play awful, unless he's, going 4 for 15 with 2-3 picks a game, like,
Yeah.
I don't see that he can, like, I feel like he's going to play, even his floor, it's like he's going to play decent enough where they can still win games as if they would with Mason Rudolph. That's why I don't think
Rodgers.
there's really a difference.
I think they're going to trade for Rodgers, to be honest, because that will keep them in that border, like that
Sign
Steelers
Rodgers.
territory. Yeah. I think they're going to sign Rodgers and
Cousins gets traded to Browns, and then
Do you think that happens?
I mean, didn't they just re-sign him though? Like, didn't they? How much did they pay him? I know it would be hard.
they're
to
trying to
find
trade him
him.
now.
4 year, like
4
160,
years?
I think.
Yeah, but they're trying. They said the starting price is 3rd round pick. I read.
When did you see that? Because I've been seeing that on and off all offseason, but
I saw that like the last 24 hours.
oh, okay. I don't understand why they went to pay him. Like his, I think roster bonus just became guaranteed like a week ago. I don't understand why they went to pay him before that.
So, do you think Russell Wilson goes to the Giants then, or how does that work for?
I thought Russ to the Titans always, but kind of cool.
Who are the Giants going to start? DeVito again? Are they?
Giants draft a guy. Giants draft.
yeah.
They'll
Sure.
stick.
Yeah,
They'll
you're
stick
right,
with all
you're
those
right.
guys.
You're right.
I think the Browns though. I think they.
I think
Sure,
they
they can
want
go get
a non-quarterback in the draft.
I do too. They always do. I think they want. I think they're a pick for Russ or Kirk.
But do they want those? I mean, they just threw $250 million at Deshaun Watson, taking a risk there, and now they're taking someone who's on the back end of their career. Like, that's another risk. Like,
Okay, they draft a rookie who's a risk. I mean, there's risk either
yeah, but there's
way.
more upside there. I mean, there's more future potentially with a rookie. I don't know.
I
Either
feel
way,
like the Browns
they're not
like
gonna win.
like
6-7
it
games.
seems like the Browns like front office and stuff is getting to the point where it's like you need to win this year or you're gone. And that's why I think a Russell
Well, do you
Wilson would
blame
make
them?
more sense than drafting a guy.
Do you blame them? Their franchise has gone through so much recently. Like, they want to win. It's
Baker
Well,
leaves
yeah,
and
yeah.
turns into a superstar. I mean, not
Yeah.
superstar, like a star,
Yeah.
really.
right. You can't blame them for, wanting to give their fans exciting football again.
No, of
They
course
haven't
not.
been a good
But
team since I can't even.
Yeah,
I'm
remember
saying
when.
like I think that's why they're
Yeah.
gonna go with a veteran over a Cam Ward or a rookie.
Yeah.
And like to be honest, like some of the top guys in the draft, like we have obviously Carter and Travis Hunter are both like, looked at as generational prospects at their respective positions. So
I'm turning into more of a Travis Hunter hater every single day.
What is that?
I'm not a fan.
You see what he said about the whole baseball thing in his position? Like, what's harder? What's harder, playing both sides of the ball or hitting a baseball? Or playing baseball, hitting a home run? I think what I do is harder because it's just more on your body, playing offense and defense. It's harder to be athletic like I am, but I can do it because I'm athletic. I'm a talent. It's like, just drop the ego. Like, you don't need to.
Jared's
he's
out based
worth
on
millions.
character.
No, it's like, we get it. You're good. You're athletic, but everyone knows that, like, playing baseball and playing linebacker, like, baseball is a harder sport to play than being a linebacker in the NFL. Sure, it's more on your body. You get hit, you might get injured. I get it, but
Football is way more physical, but
yes, but it's more
Baseball's
skill for baseball. It's harder. Yeah. Even if you say football, I get it. You don't need to add the whole, like, yeah, because it's hard what I do. No one can do what I do. I'm the best at it. It's like, you don't got to add
Our
that.
baseball
Like,
kicking off yesterday. Yeah, I said
Cubs
kick
are
off
Where
over
is-
pitching.
where's Travis Hunter going in rookie drafts this year? His ADP is around like end of the first right now.
Yeah, I would put him 108 or so, 109.
Well, I'm banking. I expect he's going to be a corner and he's going to be a receiver certain sets. I would say, and we play in non.
Oh, you think he's predominant
dynasty leagues.
defense?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think he's going to be. I think someone's going to take him as a late second, third. I think by the time we are
It
doing
depends
a
where he
rookie draft,
goes too, though.
I think teams. I don't know how much teams will say, mind you, but I suspect we'll hear some people are going to be asking at camp, whatever, and I suspect we're going to hear more about how we view him as a corner or something. Some coach is going to say that.
Do you think if he was only a receiver, he'd be the top receiver or top 3? Or is he just that talented, or is he that high because of his defensive ability?
If he was only a receiver, I feel like he would be around where McMillan is.
Okay. So still first round, but just...
Yeah, he's a first rounder if he's playing
or-
just receiver. There's no question.
I think he's first rounder either way. Like
Yeah.
if he's just corner,
Really?
I think you'd still be a first rounder.
But
Not top
wait,
5 in either.
are we talking about in dynasty?
No, just like
Fantasy?
in the
Is that what
draft.
makes-
I was thinking
Oh,
just like in the
sorry.
draft. Yeah.
Sorry. That's where I was thinking
Because
fantasy.
if he's
That's why I-
defense, you don't draft him.
Same thing.
Oh,
with
that was
dynasty.
well. What I just said sounds
So.
stupid. Then let me go back. He's a first rounder regardless of everything, or
Yeah.
like he's a first
If
round
he's
talent no matter
offense
what.
only or defense only.
I'm talking about dynasty. That's seriously what I'm saying because he's actually mocked like he's mocked in weird spots. That's why what Zach said sounded kind of legit.
Yeah.
So I would take I would say Hunter as a receiver only. Would still be a first round talent. Where Ted is, I agree with Zach. And then if he was just a corner only, still first rounder. But
Probably in the
probably
teens.
Yeah.
I would.
So for that reason alone, I think teams are going to expect him to play both because like he wants to. They're like I said, it depends like who drafts him too. If the Titans draft him, which wouldn't make much sense, but like they might have their cornerbacks locked up where they don't need any. They might want a receiver more than just an example. Like teams might prefer one or the other. So it depends where he goes, and then I'll draft him accordingly, I guess. For
He has no value if he's hurt though either. So that's the durability concerns, right? I mean, so you want to make sure he's.
That's the big thing in fantasy is like even if he's going to play both, or like he's going to be, they're saying he's going to be mainly a receiver. Does that mean 50% of the offensive snaps? 70%? Like
that's why.
Mean?
Yeah, that's why based on what I was talking about before for fantasy dynasty drafts, he's going to be. That's the uncertainty in the drafts. That's where people are going to take him in weird spots. So, I think it's going to be in a certain set sack. I think it's going to be like, 3 receiver. Oh, here's Travis Hunter. Oh, you don't want to play him on. Oh, they're going for on 4th down. Do you want to play? He's going to have to be out the next defensive probably possession. You know, if he's recovering or whatever, is he going to be?
What did it say? The top like 30, like the first round picks get invited to the draft now. It's like a lot less than last year.
Yeah,
I
don't know what numbers were. I saw it was very select though.
Yeah, just kind of weird. But I feel like if I'm getting drafted first round, I'd want to be there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of depends. Like, because a lot of the guys, like, if you have a bigger family, I don't know how many people they can bring with them, but that is limited. So, you know, if you have like 5-6 aunts and uncles and grandparents and whatever else, like you'd probably decline it just because you want to be with them. But
that's fair.
Well, we were just talking position debates. Why don't we do it for running backs?
Okay. Yeah. So this
top 25.
Fun. Honorable mentions. I'll just throw out the names that we had.
Running back rankings.
So one of us had Tony Pollard. Someone had Brian Robinson. Rico Dowdle. Tank Bigsby.
Who'd Rico?
That was probably me.
I don't remember actually. I don't know.
That was me. I think that was before he went to.
Nope. Okay. Pacheco, and then Travion Henderson.
That was Zach.
That was Zach.
Come on.
I had him at 25.
Yeah.
Who'd the other
I don't
people?
hate it. Don't.
I think Drew had.
He's the only one I had.
I had Dowdle.
Drew had Robinson, Bigsby, Dowdle. I think I put Pacheco at like 24 just based on if Hunt wasn't there. I think Pollard was my 25. I think that's what I had.
We're naming 25 running backs of
so
32.
Those were honorable mentions. Didn't make the list, but number 25 is Travis Etienne.
I'm assuming Dowdle was before the Carolina signing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That was me. Yep.
Yeah.
I did my list early. I said there would be an honorable. I mentioned there'd be a couple of guys.
Yeah.
I put him on there.
I had Etienne at 22. If you want to,
I had him 24.
I didn't rank him.
I don't think Drew ranked him.
The concerns were there. I used to be a big, take Bigsby guy. I think to be split field, but I really don't see the touchdowns coming his way. I see him getting the passing down. I see him getting the Javonte Williams work, if you will, in Denver. I think it's not going to be valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys have him ranked low too, so it's not like
This guy about the same, Tyrone Tracy. I had him at 25. He was number 24. I think Drew had him at 22. I don't know where Zach.
I had him at 23.
That's fine.
After that, David Montgomery at 23.
Who had him lower? I had him at 21.
Drew also had him at 21. I don't think I had him, to be honest. I don't think I ranked him.
Really?
No, I didn't. I did not. Nope.
Making fun of our list.
No, you'll see. There's a lot more of that. Where like
interesting.
Someone might have.
I think
really
Montgomery's a top 24 guy, but
it's hard for me. I hate split backs. It's
really well, Jared. There's gonna be ones where I'm gonna say same about myself. It's okay.
Yeah. 22. We had James Conner. Drew had him at 19.
Yep.
I had 22.
And once again, I did not have him on my list.
What?
Yeah. I didn't. I don't think, I thought he was getting old. He's aging. I know
Benson was so inefficient.
He's so touchdown dependent. Like you said that one year, like 2 years ago, he had like 13 touchdowns and like only 1,000 rushing yards.
He had a
His
great
efficiency stats the last 2 years have been insane, though.
They've been really good.
He's
And I
also
think
getting
they'll
up there in age. I just thought there was more or better running backs. I don't know.
I do think Benson takes over more of a role this year, though.
Benson was so bad last year. And I drafted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 21.
After being second for him mid-season, he declined it.
Yeah.
You gotta go
Drew.
with the guy.
Drew, here's one that you didn't have on your list. I don't think. Nope, you didn't. I had him at 19, and I don't know where Zach had him, but Kenneth Walker.
Oh, I had him at 20.
Yeah.
Nope. Charbonnet season.
21. See, so what? You didn't have him?
I'll tell.
What?
Well, yeah, he's.
Yeah.
Look, for him, big runs. I mean, it's very inflated. I feel the stats. In terms of that, I feel like Charbonnet's going to take a bigger role in the end zone. You talk about where touchdowns.
Walker is one of the running backs that he's always been fine, but he's just one of the guys that I'm never going to have on a team because he's so inconsistent. Like he'll go for 20 and then he'll go for 6.
That's what I'm looking for. I said boomer bust. Yeah.
This is a guy that I want to hear a little explanation on. Yeah, here's a guy. Zach didn't have this guy on his list. Aaron Jones at number 20.
What?
Drew, you had him at 23. I had him at 16.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Just trade for Mason.
Am I the only one that made it after this Jordan Mason thing?
I literally made it 3 days ago, and I just thought off the top of my head. So if I missed a signing or something, that's on me. But
I honestly think Mason's getting probably 10 carries a game, 10 touches a game.
Where did I have Jones though? I had him 23.
23. Yeah.
I'd keep him. He's still an RB2, Zach. I went.
Yeah, no, he was one of the guys that I was debating about at 25. It was between him, Henderson, and I thought about Mason to be honest too. But
you're banking on him missing a couple of games to be honest. I mean, you're probably already forecasting if you have him. Well, yeah, if you have him in fantasy, not that you want it, but I mean, with how
he's playing 13 games, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're probably baking that into the stat, but you know you're getting 5 yards per carry. So
for Jones, yeah, he's going to be limited some games. He's going to miss a few games, but
no problems here. I'm good with everything so far.
Next one, we won't have problems either. We all had him at 19 or 20. I think it's Najee Harris. I think we all had him right in that 19-20 range.
That Chargers signing, him going to LA is a huge boost.
That's big.
Yeah. This one we're gonna have some debacles about. Chuba Hubbard, 18.
That's low.
Yeah, Drew had him at 15.
Okay.
Zach had 14, and I think I had him in the 20s.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's been good the last 2 years.
Yeah, I know, but that whole offense just I don't know.
Bryce Young played good last year.
He looked better, yeah. I just need to remember we're ranking the running backs and not the team too. That's part of it.
Well,
I don't know.
I probably would have had him maybe at 16 or 17, Jared, based on Dowdle signing. Okay, I would have taken Dowdle out. I mean, I would have even said his name in this, but I do feel like he's gonna have a role. He'll have a role in that backfield.
Yeah. So we had this guy 16, 17, 18. It is Hampton. Omarion. Yes. Is that how you say his name? Omarion. Yeah.
Omarion Hampton.
That was someone I was I was confused how we all had him in that exact same range because there's nothing to go off of based on just
it all depends on where he goes.
Yeah. We all had him at in that range right there. 16, 17, 18.
If he goes first round to a team that needs a running back, that could be.
We could be moving him up.
You might move him up, yeah.
Yeah. I think we got some room here.
This guy, I think we're pretty similar. Alvin Kamara, 17, 18, 16, 15.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to be more on him than you guys.
No, I don't even know where you had him. 17 or so.
I had him at 17.
Yeah, Drew had 18 and I had 16. So yeah, he's like right there. This is where we start getting into the questionable ones. I think this one's pretty similar. Chase Brown is number 15.
Okay.
I'm at 13. Is that the highest?
I had him at
By
17.
the way.
I must have been right at 15 then.
Yeah, you were at
14 maybe?
Chase Brown. No, you had him at 12.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. It just some of these players like
He's
like
my
I
back
said,
in RB1.
you might not understand the ratings just because some players we had like way up here and then other player like it was all mixed up.
Yeah, because
So,
it goes off the average.
yeah. 14 we have Joe Mixon.
Ooh,
I had him at
Mixon versus
11.
Chase Brown. I'd take Chase over Mixon. That's just something I'm looking at as we get closer. But
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know because Mixon had a great year. He had a breakout year
He was,
on a bad offense. I mean, the Texans weren't anything special last year, really, and he was the only bright spot.
I
on the
think
team.
he had like 4 games where he averaged under like 3.5 yards a carry.
I think he also had games where he almost had 200 yards too, though.
he did.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for
So fantasy wise, yeah, he's not consistent, but he puts up the numbers if you start him the right weeks.
well, usually fantasy isn't best ball, so it does matter how consistent you are.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you look at him against Chase Brown, even Kamara. It's
And whose job is safer, Joe Mixon or Chase Brown?
Chase
For the
Brown's a lot
volume.
younger as well. Yeah, Chase Brown.
I think PPR 2 reception wise, I think we're going to see more there too. With
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This is a 15, 13, 10. I had him at 12. So 15, 12, 10. It's James Cook.
who had him at 10?
You. Who do you think?
Yeah.
Touchdown regression is coming this year.
You think so?
You like he got his full name? No.
There's no way. There's no way he does.
Yes, some touchdown regressions coming, but not to the extent that you think.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
He's not getting anywhere close to 16. Yeah, that's 36 points.
10 does it for me. Yeah.
That's 36 point difference.
You're going to have a bigger argument on here pretty soon. All right. So just
Thank you for arguing,
keep your
Jared.
thoughts. I'm excited to hear your explanations, but okay. Number 12
Okay, so
isn't
now
too bad. We're getting into the top ones. We got Breece Hall at number 12.
Boo.
Zach had him at 9. Drew had him at 14, and I had him
Yeah.
at 10.
Field
Being
side
out on Breece
really.
Hall after 1 year is ridiculous.
Right? That's what I thought.
I've been out on him for a while.
I was the same way as Garrett Wilson, though. I had Garrett Wilson in my top 6, 7, and you guys had him at like 10, 11,
Well, yeah,
12.
that's still insane.
Well, I'm just saying.
Garrett Wilson
I
is still
believe
insane,
in that
but-
offense if they have a solid quarterback and linemen to protect him.
Okay, Allen was already eating into work this past year. They bring in Fields. Shoot, they got 3
No.
guys who I like running the ball.
Look at the end of the year. Allen wasn't doing anything. Once they got a new
Well, okay.
offensive coordinator, Allen wasn't touching the ball.
Okay. Well, the reason I had Hall at 14, I'll tell you the things I like. I like him as a receiver in that offense. I think he's gonna get, I think that's gonna be the most attractive part with his game. Is gonna be his work out of the backfield, receiving wise, with Fields. I just am concerned attempts wise. I'm gonna try to protect him. I don't.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Before we get to top 10, then number 11 is Kyron Williams. 11 for Drew, 12 for Zach, and I had him at 8. So
No issues
Okay.
with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
this is where we start to have problems, like big problems, where we're gonna need to explain some things. I
I
think
think I have my top 10 is all still left. Well,
for
so
this
top-
one, Zach, you're gonna have to explain because Drew had him at 9. I had
Hold
him
on.
at 14.
Jesus.
You had him
Bucky?
at 4. It's H.
Bucky. What?
Why do you guys have him so low?
Mostert's gone now too, so that's something that still look.
Hey,
Well, they just
Look at how many
they brought someone
receptions he
in.
was getting. He's going to catch 60 balls at least.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wait, where did I have him? HN? 9?
8? 9. Yeah, you had him at 9.
Yeah, I put him. I move him up a spot, Zach, to 9. So best I can do.
Yeah, I had him.
Sure, you want to trade him in your league then? I mean,
yeah. How many firsts?
none. I don't have any.
So Zach,
Well,
that was
I have
tied.
0.
That was tied for your furthest placement from the list. Mine was, I think, Hubbard.
Oh,
So I
mine's
had
still
him
coming.
pretty
Yes.
low. Yours is still coming. Yeah. Yours is actually the next player, and
All right.
this is what I've been waiting for. Drew had this guy at 17.
Oh my God.
Zach had him at 8.
I forget him.
CMC.
Oh,
Okay, explain yourself, Drew. Because I had this guy
Are you
top
just
5.
banking in injuries? Like you're saying he's
We're
going
going off of healthy seasons. When this guy was healthy, the last year he played every game. He was the offensive player of the
He
year.
did. Oh, I got. Oh, you're saying last time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm kind of at the point where I feel, and I'm baking in. San Francisco's going to draft someone. They got to bring someone in. He's not going to have a full workload as. I think you're at that point with CMC where you're not getting 70-30 that you once got. Maybe 75-25. I think they're going to start wheeling it back a little bit.
I have an argument for that too, because I looked it up. Their coaches already came out and said they're not going to regress anything with him. They're going to give him the workload that he deserves.
Well, draft doesn't
He still
happen.
thinks. Well, yeah, there's still things that can change, but
they have Isaac Garendo. I don't think they have enough other holes in the draft. I don't think running backs are their priority.
I still
I
want
think
to
they
rule.
have the guy already.
Okay.
do
Well,
you really think 17 is the right place for him?
Well,
I mean, looking back now, if I just want to know if that's.
I'm more than willing to say, no, I'd probably take him. I put him over Mixon. I'd probably put him in at 14. I'm still like RB2. I mean, I'm cooled off just based on. I don't want.
I mean,
yeah.
Like I'm with. I don't think he's going to be like. He's not going to be his offensive player of the year. Like he's not getting those touches again. But I mean, if he is healthy, like he's a guy I'm not going to trade for him. But like, if all of a sudden if I'm doing a redraft and he's falling, mid second, late second, I feel like you got to just take a shot. Like if he is healthy.
You guys
he's
need to
gonna return on
remember
that value.
he was the top pick in almost every single draft, like going into last year until he got hurt.
Yeah, and
Like,
I
was
was 2 of those leagues. 2 of my leagues, I had him.
The injuries are like that's.
But you can't bank. I mean, we're just saying if everyone's healthy, that's what these lists are. It's basically if they're healthy.
If we were basing
this
this,
right, I don't know, like what was his injury? Tendonitis, whatever his injury was.
yeah, and that
I
doesn't
don't
just
know.
go away.
I think most leagues he
Yeah.
was drafted like top 3, even knowing he was going to miss the first 4 or 5 weeks. At the time, you only thought 4, but it ended up being like 12. But
Everyone
yeah,
thought he was going to miss like a week or 2,
yeah,
Yeah,
and then he missed. Pretty much
but he
all
was
season.
still a top 3 pick in most drafts. And that's where I'm kind of like, how is this guy this? I mean, not thinking of injuries, how would he be anything below like top 5 in my opinion? I don't know.
Because he's going to be injured.
Well,
If
you
we're doing
can't
rankings
bank
for this-
that. You can't bank that he's going to get injured.
It's like Aaron Jones.
He's
in
fully
in
healthy
this
though
ranking.
right now.
Maybe I should have asked you
He's
that question,
not,
but I asked a
Jake.
couple other questions.
Yes, he is. He's fully healthy and expected to be ready 100% for week 1. He is
But
fully healthy.
tendonitis is a thing that lingers. It's the reason
He said
didn't
he's
play.
felt
Like,
better.
he went.
But he said he's felt the best right now than he's felt in the last 2 years. That's what he said. He came out and said
who
this.
doesn't say that? Who's going to be like, yeah, I'm still not.
If he didn't believe he was
Yeah,
good to go, he would take time off and
still
he would
hurts.
take time off. No, he would not just
He
force
did. He
himself
went
to
back
play.
on IR to end the year.
Yeah, I'm saying if he wasn't ready to start week 1, he would not go out there and be like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Start me. He'd be like,
That's
give me
what
a
they
few
did
weeks.
last year. That's why everyone drafted him so early.
He went back on IR because they sucked and they didn't really need him.
Well, did
It
you
was
see him
terrible.
fall in that game too? Like when it was the Bills. It
He
was
didn't get
like
hurt. Like he didn't get hit, I should say.
yeah, it was
Yes, it's
non-contact. I was just really concerned for. I didn't know if he tore it. Like that's where. And
If we're not thinking
I'm
of
just
injuries or
cautious.
chance of injury, I get that. Yeah, that's fair. But if we're not thinking of anything with injuries, I can't
But
put
you
him.
can't
anywhere
just
outside
say
of
like
top 5.
this guy that's been hurt for the last 5 years and has tendonitis, which is something that lingers, he's going to be fully healthy. Like
he won OPOY 2 years ago when he was healthy. And he played every single game. I don't think he missed a game. And everyone thought, oh, he's going to be hurt. He's going to be hurt. He's going to be hurt. He played every game.
And he's now a 29-year-old running back that had Achilles tendonitis in both legs last year.
Isn't Derrick Henry like 30?
He's never had tendonitis, has he? I mean, I'm just
no.
Well, I'm just saying
it's like hurt. Really, he had like the high ankle sprain or whatever.
He missed all of like half of 2021.
He broke
his ankle or something. Or he was.
Oh, Henry.
Yeah, and he came back the next year, and now he's.
But we can agree Henry's had less injuries than CMC.
That's fair.
Look, Jared, I'll give you this. I'll say, okay, if you guaranteed me CMC was playing 17 games, CMC would be in my top 10.
Okay, that's what I made the list off of. I thought if they're all healthy, no concerns, right. That's where I put them. But that's fair.
I made the list based on what I was.
I mean, Zach, there's no way for you to complain on this because you had him at 8 and he's not.
Yeah.
So like you had him right where he technically averaged, but yeah.
But top 5 is crazy.
I don't think it is. I'm sticking to that. I think. I don't know. All right.
8.
Moving on, we all had this guy about the same, which is kind of crazy. Bucky Irving. Zach had him at 7, and Drew and I had him at 8, I think. Each.
Good, Jared. I knew he'd be on. After the argument we had a couple months ago, I knew he'd be on point with this.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty similar. All right. Number 7. I had him at Josh Jacobs. You guys had him at 5, both of you.
Perfect, not biased.
So I had him at.
Wait, how is he at 7?
I had him at 12.
Jesus. Why?
Because he was nothing until last year. Like, what? You can't just bank on 1 year.
What?
He was so inconsistent on the Raiders. You know this. I love Josh Jacobs.
He's not on the Raiders anymore.
He was. Listen. All right. I love Josh Jacobs. I thought he was amazing. He still had games on the Packers where he just wasn't. He didn't do much. I mean, the Packers' offense is. Who knows what they do with their whole receiving core? Jordan Love is throwing 40-some passes a game.
Jacobs isn't much. They literally relied on Jacobs.
He had a game where he scored where he threw 53 passes last year. Jordan Love did until he got hurt, and then they started relying on Jacobs.
Yeah, when they were down 3 scores in the first quarter.
The week he came back. The week that Love came back from his injury, he threw
against
53
the Vikings.
Passes. I don't know.
Yeah, because they're down like 28-0 in the first quarter.
But my point is that he was hurt. Like Love was not 100%.
Yeah, but you
Jacobs
can't run the
catch
ball
passes.
and come back from that.
Jacobs
you don't have an option whether your quarterback is hurt or not.
I do want to add that I love Jacobs. I always did, but my roommate has convinced me otherwise recently that he's terrible. And now I'm like kind of on the he's still good.
Bring your roommate. I want to talk to him.
He's a Steelers fan, but he doesn't like Josh Jacobs.
Doesn't that make you question his football choices?
That he's a Steelers fan?
Well, my conspiracy quick is that Jared put Jacobs at low, so JT would be higher.
No, actually, they tied. Jacobs tied with JT. JT's next on the list.
Well, yeah, because you had him at 12.
At JT at 5, right?
No, actually, I think I was the lowest on JT.
I had him at 10. There's no way.
No,
unless Drew had him at number 1.
So you had him at 10. Drew had him at 6. I had him at 7.
I was a high guy in JT. There you go.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
What don't you like about JT? Why is he 10 for you, Zach? Why would you put Breece Hall and Bucky Irving above JT? I know we don't need to talk about Bucky Irving, but why Breece Hall over JT?
I think they're going to get a similar amount of touches overall, but I think Hall is going to get probably 20 to 30 more receptions.
And how is that Jets offensive line? How is that going to work out?
The Colts just lost half their guys.
The Colts still re-signed 2 Pro Bowlers that are not. Nelson didn't re-sign, but we still have Nelson. We still have Braden Smith. We still have Bernard Raymond. We have a lot of Pro Bowl talent linemen. Like we're still going to be fine offensive line, and we're going to probably draft someone. We just drafted 2 rookies last year. that are going to be
Okay.
in there this
All
year.
right. But still, like you look at, you're a big proponent of looking at the past, right? Look at 2 years ago. Jets' offensive line was basically at the same level it is now, and Hall still had an RB3 finish, RB2 finish, something like that overall. And that was Zach Wilson was their quarterback, I believe. So why can't he do that with Fields?
Your argument with the other, with who was it? With Jacobs, was it? Was that he had a good year last year? That means he's going to have a good year this year. Well, Breece Hall didn't have a good year last year.
He had a fine year. It wasn't like it was awful.
Yeah, but for you, your expectations were OPOY. I mean, you bet on it, literally.
Yeah, all right. I was a little higher than what his season was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like his season still wasn't awful.
Well, I'm not saying he was awful. I had Breece Hall at 10, and his average was you. I mean, you had him at 9, so that's pretty similar.
Yeah.
And we're
I
fighting
mean, I
over
think
3 spots here. I had him at 7. You had him at 10 for JT.
Yeah, fight with me.
I think their offensive play calling is going to be a bit better this year.
Yeah. The last fully healthy season JT had, he almost rushed for 2,000, and 2021 he rushed for 2,000 as well. I know that's 4 years ago now. I always argue that, but even like last year when he still had over 1,200 yards last year, and he only played like 12 games. Not that many, like 13 games, whatever it was. Like he averaged like 80 yards a game, 90 yards a game when he played. Which I think that's amazing. That's I had him at 7. I mean, you guys had him. Drew had him at 6. So fight with Drew about it. Yeah, like he said. Yeah. But
no, give me top 5.
Yeah, number 5. We got Ashton Genty at number 5, which is kind of interesting.
That's
That's
about right.
Zach had him at 11.
You know it, Zach.
I had him at.
I mean, I might be low, but like
5.
Like to put him that high before knowing his landing spot. It's crazy. Drew, where'd you have him?
Oh, I don't know. Drew's gotta tell me.
3, 4?
No, he had him at
34.
7.
Oh,
I was the high guy on him. You've convinced me into Like I said, there's a bunch of ones that just didn't. Yeah, they kind of rounded up that way because some of us had like me. I had Josh Jacobs lower than you guys, and that's where he ended. I don't know.
I think 7's a.
I mean, top 3 got to be locked in, right? Like we got to have the same top 3.
So we had similar top 3s.
Not in the same order, but the same 3 guys. Like 4 should be a lock right now.
Do you know who it is? 4
should be Derrick Henry.
It is Derrick Henry. Yeah. You can guess the rest. So you guys both had Gibbs and then Bijan 3-2. I had Bijan at 3 and then Gibbs at 2.
Wait, so it's Gibbs at 3 or no? It's Bijan 3.
The actual list is Gibbs at 3. Yes. And then Bijan is 2. And then number 1 goes to Rex Burkhead. Actually. Yeah, and Saquon at 1. Yeah. So, yeah. I guess the biggest one was CMC, Josh Jacobs, and Drew. You were 8 spots, actually 9 spots off of where CMC was, I think. No, 8 spots. I was 7 off where Hubbard was. Zach was 6 from Genty and Achan from the average. So,
yeah. All right. Yeah, let's read through the top 10 2025 fantasy running back rankings. Number 1, Saquon Barkley. Number 2, Bijan Robinson. Number 3, Jahmyr Gibbs. Number 4, Derrick Henry. Number 5, Ashton Genty. Number 6, JT. Number 7, Josh Jacobs. Number 8, Bucky Irving. Number 9, Christian McCaffrey. And number 10, Devon Achan. So
Danielle Hunter just got a 1-year extension. $35.6 million.
All right.
So out of that top 10, what would you change?
I would change CMC to number 5. I still am sticking to that. He's a top 5 running back in the league. I will fight that.
CMC.
Not for fantasy.
I'd move.
He's a pass catcher too. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to argue with him. Last we
Top
saw of
four
him, he was
stays.
OPOY,
He's not going
best
to be
player
healthy.
in the league. You can't bank on that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't.
He's
We're
the
making
most
these
injury
lists.
concern out of anybody in the NFL.
It doesn't matter. We're making these lists based on, is he healthy? He's going to be healthy no matter what.
Or he is
The whole
healthy.
year,
Okay.
He is. We're banking it on he is healthy. We can't make the list like, oh, will he be healthy? Will he be? No, it's not that. It's when they are healthy, who is the best fantasy running back? You can't
Then why
just
is
say,
he not
well,
one?
because Saquon's the best. I had CMC at 4, Zach.
Debate with me.
Drew had him at 17.
Yeah, talk to me.
All right.
I made the list like if you're making a fantasy ranking list, it should be on how you would draft the guys.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's
You
why
can tell him
CMC,
out
knowing he was hurt from the previous year, still got drafted top 3 in every single league.
He wasn't
how
hurt
are you
from the
gonna
previous year.
Huh? Yes,
He
he
wasn't
was.
hurt from the pre.
Well, the offseason, whatever it was. You knew he was probably going to miss weeks 1 and 2, but we weren't sure of it. Like there was still that chance that he was going to miss a few weeks.
I wish I knew that. I wouldn't have drafted him then at 1-1.
In our league, in both my redraft leagues, he was drafted number 1 overall, both leagues. Like I don't understand how you can downgrade a guy because he might not be healthy. This list is they are healthy. Who is the best running back?
I will say, well, okay, besides the top 10, other than Jared still debating the CMC thing, I would put Jacobs back at 5 where he belongs. I would entertain, maybe Genti 6 or 7 is fine. Maybe I put Taylor back. I move Taylor back a spot 7 and then have Bucky at 8. Maybe Achane too. That's the other one. I see a 10. That kind of has convinced me a little bit more here. I would have had him for sure in the top 10.
Achane had 78 catches
9.
last year.
Yeah, I would. Well, that's a tough thing. I am a big PPR guy. Don't get me wrong, but it's like you wouldn't put him over. I mean, you put him over JT.
Yeah.
So I just get tough because like those two, like you wouldn't put him over Derrick Henry though. Wait, did you? You did, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
but
didn't you have Achane at 4?
I have him at 4.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So that's the thing, Zach. I don't know how much. When does it get to you're banking too much on receptions? Like for me, that's like you're there. You're at that level.
He was RB5 last year.
Oh yeah, well,
with 900 rushing yards. Like, keep in mind how bad their rushing offense was last year. I'm expecting that to take a little bit of a step forward, and for his pass game, like the efficiency in the run game.
How much was that? Was Tua missing time? Sorry, not to interrupt, but like Stu Huntley throwing checkdowns to that, and they didn't have a deep game. But
I mean, okay, so Tua missed. He missed weeks 3 through 7, right? Yep. Achane's receptions from weeks once Tua got back, so weeks 8 through 16. 6, 8, 5, 4, 3, 8, 6, 7, 6. Those are all games with Tua. When Huntley was quarterback, 3, 3, 1, 2.
Okay.
So he actually caught way more passes with Tua.
How many passes total did he have the whole year?
78.
Okay, so McCaffrey had 67 in 15 games in 2023.
Yeah.
Which was over 2,000 yards total from scrimmage. Like
so Drew, the 4 games that Huntley started, Achane's points, 8.8, 5.9, 2.7, 10.5.
Okay, good.
He was awful with Huntley. Yeah.
Well, what about Tyreek though? Okay, well, I'm not going to just keep going down the list of concerns, but Tyreek Hill not being healthy, or let's say Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Do you think Tyreek's going to be back to? I mean, we had him in the teens. None of us think he's going to be back to.
Yeah, but I get tough too with Waddle. Like, okay, Jonnu Smith. There's just it's the mouths to feed phrase. It's coming up again because that's where I'm at with that offense. Is I want all those guys to be great, and someone's got to budge. So
okay, I can't get over this. I know you're arguing Achane right now, but McCaffrey averaged 140 yards per game, 2023.
Yes, sure. We both baked in a lot of injury concern.
Oh, whoops! I meant to just remove Jared. There we go.
Like we're clearly
talking
banking an injury
2025
concern because he's missed so much time
Okay,
and his injuries.
Well, we should make
He's
that
out of
clear in
timeout.
quarterbacks that you don't. It has to be when they're healthy. Like it's
No, my quarterback rankings.
can't
concrete.
make a
Who
list.
makes fantasy rankings without thinking about if guys are going to miss games or not?
They're not gonna miss games. Like he's 100% healthy. It's not that they're gonna miss games. You're banking on they're going to get hurt. Like that's not. You can't do that. You can't say they're going to get hurt throughout the year. Okay, I think that Josh
You
Allen's
discount
gonna
them a
get
bit
hurt.
because you don't think they're going to play as many games as other guys.
Zach, this next year, I think Josh Allen, he's going to take a big hit and miss 10 games. So I'm going to rank him at
That's
15.
not the same. That
That's
is
what
not
you're
the same.
doing.
No,
That's
it's
what
not.
you're doing.
We're looking
saying
at
that
the
for a
last 3
quarterback. We're
years, and
saying
we're
for a running back
okay,
that's
Joe
missed
Burrow.
more time than he's played.
Okay, Joe Burrow. How about that? Joe Burrow. He's been hurt 1 out of his first 4 years, whatever it's been. And he missed the whole season with a broken
Jared,
leg.
look at the
He's still going to be in your
look
top
at the
4.
injury occurrence for quarterbacks versus running backs. Quarterbacks, you don't factor that in because it doesn't happen that much.
Okay, Saquon. How about
Running
Saquon?
backs,
How about Saquon? He had that whole
about-
hamstring injury or whatever he had that he missed his whole sophomore season.
yeah, there's a reason he was a second round pick last year in most leagues.
Derrick
Because he
Henry,
missed a
like
lot
I
of
said.
time.
These are players above CMC on our average. Players that have been hurt. JT even got hurt. He missed half the year last year. I know I had him middle. Drew had him highest.
But Jared, here's the difference. Tendonitis, it's not something that you get and you just heal from it and it never affects you again. Like think about Gurley
But
with
a broken leg, you can just run on it again, and you're.
Well, no, but a
it
broken leg
affects you. It
heals.
doesn't affect you.
And I don't know who broke their leg besides Pacheco, but
Derrick Henry, or ankle, whatever it was,
This is fibula, I think.
fibula. Yeah.
No, that was Pacheco.
Okay. Well, Derrick Henry, he broke his
But
ankle or something.
Different athlete.
Takes bigger hits probably. I mean, CMC is a receiving back too, so I don't know. I don't see the argument. I'm open to moving him from 4 to 6, but I'm not open to moving him to 9. There's no way.
I'm moving Achane up after the CMC argument.
Maybe Achane should be top 8, 7.
He
Yeah, maybe he should.
He should be ahead of CMC, not Saquon.
I can't say that.
Yeah. I would put Achane. Well, yeah. Well,
I still haven't heard like a solid argument besides injury factor why CMC isn't up there.
All right.
That is the factor. That's the only factor.
You can't do that. I don't understand how you're making an argument about that right now. I can't.
Overall,
Jared, if
Jared,
you have the
2 to
number
1.
5 pick and CMC's on the board, are you taking him?
If I have the number 5 pick,
Yep.
and I know he's
5
healthy
overall.
week 1,
Yep.
100% I'm taking him. 100%.
Wow.
100%. Because he is a league winner. He has not shown when he's healthy. I just won my league last year and I got second the year before in a $60 league. Don't say
Not dynasty though. Don't add it.
that wasn't dynasty. I'm not the best at dynasty. We're talking redraft.
We are talking redraft. Yeah,
We're talking
I'll give you
redraft.
that, Jared. I'll give you that.
I don't understand how you're making the argument that because he's probably going to get hurt, that he can't be top 5. That makes no sense. You can't say that. Like
he overruled.
It's like saying Jackson Churio is not going to have a great second year because he'll probably get hurt. He's due to get hurt. He played almost every game last year.
Really? We're looking at the last few years.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
CMC was healthy. Everyone thought he was going to be hurt 2023. He played all but 2 games. Or all but 1
He was
game.
healthy 1 year. He missed a bunch of time last year. Then in 2023, he was healthy. 2022, I think.
His first 3 years of his
healthy
career, he
for
played
most
every
of it.
single game when they were still 16.
Then he missed 2 years, pretty much.
He missed, a year and a half, yeah.
Year and a half, yeah.
And then he came back and played 11, which was with his first year with the 49ers. No. That was 17 because he played 6 with Carolina, played every game. Then he played 16 the year after that. So 17, 16, and then last year 4 because he was dealing with that injury. So that's 2 years out of 1,
also
2,
getting
3,
older.
4,
He's 29.
5, 6, 7 years. 7-year career, he's missed 2. But he's due to get hurt again. Like, you can't say that. Or 3, I guess, because of last year. So he's been healthy more than he's been hurt. 4 years
So
healthy.
he's missed about 40% of his career. And he's 29.
So he's gonna play 60% of games.
Guy that relies on his agility. That's one thing with Derrick Henry. Like, his agility isn't what makes him great. CMC, his agility is what makes him great. Agility goes a lot easier.
I just don't
than-
understand how you're arguing that when healthy, CMC is not a top 5 running back.
He is. We're arguing that he's not healthy.
He
He's
is.
not going to be healthy.
That's
Yeah, we're saying your modifier is invalid, Jared. That's what we're saying.
so because I thought that a player that's healthy right now was going to stay healthy the whole year.
Yep.
So that reason I rated him high. Because that reason I'm wrong in this.
Yes.
argument.
Yep.
Because you should not be
Because I
assuming
thought
he's
he was
stay
gonna
healthy
be-
all season.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Because he's been healthy 60% of his NFL career. I'm wrong for thinking he's going to be healthy this year. Like when he's 100% healthy, just because he has
Yeah.
what you
Yeah,
said
no,
tendinitis last
we-
season when he said he's over it.
We obviously hope he plays all 17 games and is
Yeah.
healthy, Jared. We're just looking right. I mean, he's played only 60% of his career. We're just looking at the facts.
So, Jared, when we brought this up with Aaron Jones, you didn't hear a peep out of you. You said when you're
Aaron
ranking
Jones?
Aaron Jones, you assume he's playing 13 games.
I assume
Didn't say a
13
thing.
games.
Where do we have him?
20.
Oh, he's there 20.
Where did you have him? That's what I mean. Where did you have
I
him?
don't know. 23, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I had him higher. I had him like 15. That's right.
So it makes sense with how you ranked.
I don't go off of injuries. If someone's healthy right now, like what I rank, like if we were doing receivers and who's hurt right now, there's not many players hurt. Like, okay, if we're ranking NBA players, top 10, I'm not putting Joel Embiid going into next season as a top, 5 player because he's been hurt for 90% of his career, whatever it's been. CMC just had 2 amazing years, like the best years of running backs we've like ever seen besides this year in Saquon. 1 down year because he gets hurt, and now you guys are bumping him down to borderline top 10 running back. Like he's a top.
Well, Drew's
3
down the
when healthy.
borderline.
I'm just out. I said,
Yeah. Like Zach, like you had him right where he is. Like you had him at 8. He's
yeah, I'm the problem now.
Like that's as low as I can go. Probably is like 8 is like that's. I still don't think that's right, but
I'll be honest, I'm not drafting until late second round this year.
he's not going to go late second.
He's
He's
gonna
going
say
to go
third
first.
round.
He's going to go first round in any redraft. In any redraft,
Yeah,
he's going
then
first.
I'm not going to get him.
Well, I'll get him at the 301, 302 maybe.
Yeah, I'm like, it's got to be like 208, something like
The
that.
only reason I'm so like strong on this is because in 2023 I didn't draft him because I thought he was going to get hurt. Everyone thought he had a great year, just got traded there to the 49ers, fully healthy. He's probably going to get hurt. Let's not draft him. Plays every single game the next year except for one. I think he sat out 1 game. Had 2,100 yards total. That's 140 average. And then last year he gets hurt. Like, I don't get it.
But like if you did that the last 2 years, you would have 1 year you're very happy with, and 1 year you're pissed about.
Okay, so
So
when
you
David
got-
Johnson, hold on, when David Johnson missed his next season after having that great year where he was the number 1 pick in all leagues, was he still drafted top 3 the next year? You bet your damn ass he was. He was drafted top 3, top 5. He was still drafted top because he had an
I
injury
think it's
concern.
the type of
Like, he was-
injuries that's
but he
been.
was
I
still
mean, we talked
drafted.
about this.
Yeah, Saquon had a hamstring injury. That's like the worst kind of injury for a running back besides like an
Stop.
Achilles.
Yeah, for that year. Like the next year, hamstring's fine though.
For
But
someone
he
that
also was
big,
coming into a new place with the Eagles, Jared. I mean,
Yeah, I get that.
dude,
but for someone with like trunk size legs, a hamstring injury is like the worst nightmare for that kind of player. Besides, I guess, an Achilles, which is
Like-
terrible for anyone.
That's what.
But he
McCaffrey
rebounded.
does.
But I'm just saying,
All
it's
right.
like I don't.
We're talking in circles now. That's gonna wrap it for Zack Rausch, Jared Valleskey, myself, Drew Skyberg, here on this Wednesday night. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Drew Sports Crew, The Journey to Million, the perfect podcast for you.